Hi, and welcome back. Today, let's start with lesson number 1. Nothing I see in this room, on this street, from this window, in this place means anything. Now, look slowly around you and practice applying this idea very specifically to whatever you see. This table does not mean anything. This chair does not mean anything. This hand does not mean anything. This foot does not mean anything. This pen does not mean anything. Then look farther away from your immediate area and apply this idea to a wider range. That door does not mean anything. That body does not mean anything. That lamp does not mean anything. That sign does not mean anything. That shadow does not mean anything. Notice that these statements are not arranged in any order and make no allowance for differences in the kinds of things to which they are applied. This is the purpose of the exercise. The statement is merely applied to anything you see. As you practice applying the idea for the day, use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for these exercises should not become ritualistic. Only be sure that nothing you see is specifically excluded. One thing is like another as far as the application of the idea is concerned. Each of the first 3 lessons should not be done more than twice a day, preferably morning and evening, nor should they be attempted for more than a minute or so unless that entails a sense of hurry. A comfortable sense of leisure is essential. So I want to talk a little bit about the lesson. So we have specifically, remember we talked about specificity. Apply this, do this practically. These are practical lessons. That picture behind me does not mean anything. The bed behind me does not mean anything. I can apply to anything that I see. This computer, this camera that I'm talking to does not mean anything. And you will see as the lesson progresses where this takes us. But today, for today, the lesson is just say, nothing that I see means anything. And it is a big blow to the ego. Believe me, the ego makes meaning of everything. Even the littlest thing that it can possibly attach to, it's going to have a meaning for that. I love the fact that it says that as you practice, you use it totally indiscriminately. Do not attempt to apply it to everything you see, for the exercises should not become ritualistic. My understanding of that statement is that do not get attached to the fact that you're doing this. Don't get attached to everything. That is the ego's job. We are in the process of transforming from the ego to our true self. And the true self does not attach to anything. Nothing actually means anything. Excuse me. So what it's trying to say is that don't make it very ritualistic. Don't go on saying that, because the ego is not ready to hear that. That's the first part. The ego is not ready to let go of the fact that how can you say that these things do not mean anything to me? It means a lot to me. This means that, for me, my hand is useful. So it means a lot to me. That picture is something that I picked out that's useful for me. I love that when I see it, it gives me serene peace. So how can you say that it doesn't mean anything? So the ego is going to stumble. The ego is going to not accept that. Ego does not want to accept that you're crossing over from the materialistic world to the real world. It does not want and is not going to accept that either. But don't fight it. That's the beauty of this lesson. Just do the lesson just the way it is said. Practice it one time in the morning, one time in the evening. Then you're done. You can go about your day, do whatever you're doing, no interruptions. And it says that don't be in a hurry. If you are in a hurry, because it won't give you a sense of leisure is essential. Just do it for, this is an idea. Remember we talked about ideas. This is just an idea. Just you're planting a seed there. If it germinates, let it. If it doesn't, it's okay. We have 364 other ideas to practice. So that's what it says. So the footnote at the book, it says the this practice of beginning with things near to you, this table, and then moving on to things farther away, that door, continues in future lessons, but with decreasing emphasis in the instruction. So like I said, later on we'll see what this would mean. But for today, nothing I see in this room means anything. And with that, I hope you have a great day. And thank you for tuning in today to Everything is Divine. I love you. Namaste.